the games begin. Let the games begin.
Oh man, Anthony Davis. One of the most unique talents in the NBA. I see a lot of myself in him. I can't wait to
The Utah Jazz have a Western Conference contest on their hands as they prepare to defend the home court at the Energy Solutions Arena here in downtown Salt Lake City, Utah. We're happy to have you. And Freak subbed in for Exum. New Orleans also making some changes. Alexis Ajinça comes in for Omer Asik. And it's Anderson in for Tyreke Evans. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Holiday at the 1 with Gordon at the 2. Davis is out there with Alexis Ajinça. And it's Anderson in at the 3, the small forward.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Holiday, he's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
And with the way the Warriors went on a rampage last year, you knew that Alvin Gentry would be in demand. Was the architect behind the Warriors offense, is one of the best offensive minds in our league.
Now here's Burks, defended by Gordon, down to 5 on the shot clock. Freak kicks to Favors. Beat the shot clock, but it's off the mark.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
And he misses the go-ahead basket.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Freak kicks to Burks. Favors with the screen. Lets it go from 11. 1:29 left to play here in the first. Gordon with it. Now defended by Hayward. Holiday goes in. And he banks in the layup.
And look, he's not the best athlete, but he's able to create the space he needs to operate.
Now here's Freak, guarded by Holiday. Freak passes to Booker. Another miss by Utah.
And as far as jump shots go, that's what you have to continue to try and get.
I don't know how that one stayed out.
And Davis, here we go. And he gets it to go. Davis has got his second bucket of the night.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Favors with a screen on Holiday. Now here's Freak. Defense is right there. Now here's Burks. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Holiday with the 3. Rebounded by the Jazz. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Just not a disciplined performance defensively in that game, guys. A lot of silly fouls hurt them throughout.
I think lack of discipline is the right phrase, Greg. I mean, a lot of silly fouls, and they did that even when they were in foul trouble.
And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Jazz lead by 1. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player.
It was definitely a hard decision. I had to sit down with my family and weigh the options and really take the time to figure out what's best for me. It was tough. I mean, I loved my team, my coaches, and just the whole college experience, you know. But on the other hand, there's always a risk of injury, you know. I just felt like I was ready to take my game to the next level, so why wait? And I think it turned out for the best. No regrets.
Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Well, New Orleans is still a relatively young team, but they play with the maturity, I think, Clark, that's beyond their years.
You know, Kevin, the average age for them last year was just over 25 years old, and the youngest team in the West, actually, to make it to the playoffs last year.
So for New Orleans right now, Gordon the off guard with Evans at the 3. The big men are Anderson and Davis, and it's Cole in at the point guard. Freak dishes to Booker. Hayward on the wing. 6 on the shot clock. To the right side. Burke. Another shot. Sweet move. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. That one on Davis.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And for the Pelicans, part of why they look so mature is how they protect leads. I mean, rarely giving away points for free and knowing how to close out games.
And Utah making a change here. Burks is checked in. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for New Orleans. Holiday comes in for Cole. Here's Hayward. Here's Booker. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Pelicans.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Davis kicks to Gordon. Outside Holiday. The feed to Ajinça. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. And the Pelicans lead by 10.
And, you know, guys, the Pelicans only lost 5 games last year where they led going into the fourth quarter. They won 38 when entering the fourth quarter with the lead. That's very mature basketball for a team that's as young as they are.
Offensive rebound. Tries again. And Davis sends it back. It's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will retain possession. .114 left in the first half of the game. Pass to Booker. It's stolen by Davis. Here's Gordon. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Freak.
And you know, guys, Eric Gordon was an unbelievable three-point shooter last season. 45% from behind the arc. The first time he's been over 40% in his career. Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
1:03 left now here in the second. Now here's Freak, guarded by Holiday. Taken away by Holiday. Oh, and here comes Holiday all alone. Drops in the breakaway layup. Holiday's got 6 points.
I like the way they've picked it up here offensively in the second.
Yeah, up above 50% in terms of field goal percentage. They're on a roll.
Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Deflects the pass and stolen by Gordon. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here. Utah ends up going with a new group. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Perkins, he's checked in for Asha. Anderson comes in for Tyreke Evans. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Gordon. And it's Norris Cole in for Drew Holiday. Freak, he's in at shooting guard. Lyles out there with Hood. Then there's Trevor Booker. And it's Burke in at the point guard position. That's the group right now for Utah. They set the pick. Right wing. Here's Freak. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. Anderson passes to Cole. Drains the three-pointer. And now an 11-point Pelican lead.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
Booker dishes to Hood. Pass to Lyles. 5 to shoot. Hood gets the bucket. Hood's got 8 points.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Those three-point bombs will erase the deficit quickly if they can keep it up.
Here's Cole. Burke covering. Anderson kicks to Cole. Back to Anderson. All sorts of time. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Pelicans.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Hood. The Pelicans also changing it up. Alexis Ajinça comes in for Perkins. And it's Holiday in for Quincy Pondexter. 51 seconds left here in the third quarter. Holiday, the pass to Davis. And he goes in for the dunk.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Now here's Freak. He's covered closely. Just 5 to shoot from 20 feet out. That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut down to 11 on the bucket from Booker. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Outside Holiday. Here's Cole. Burke covering. And it's blocked. Hayward left side with the shot, and play stops as it looks like they call an over the back here.
Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
Yeah, he got straight over the back and on top of him there too, so nothing subtle about that one.
And Ajinça drops them both. Burke. No good. And as we end the third, and we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter, might not come down to the wire. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Booker, he's checked in for Gobert. Lyle comes in for Derek Favors. Hood's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Freak subbed in for Burks. New Orleans also making some changes. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Holiday. Perkins comes in for Ryan Anderson. Davis is subbed in for Gordon. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Omer Asik is out there at Perkins. Then there's Davis. Then there's Tyreke Evans. And it's Ajinça in at the 5. Roaming the paint. Davis setting the pick for Evans. Kicks to Ajinça. Back to Evans. The second chance effort. And the jumper is good. And the Pelicans lead by 21.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Pelicans.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today, you know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And, you know, against a conference opponent, Greg, who you're going to see 4 times total on the season, a 2-0 advantage is pretty healthy.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Evans. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Utah with the ball. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
And so the Pelicans now can just hold on to the ball. Here's G. So we see the Pelicans taking the W.
Tyreke, obviously.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille Tyreke Evans. Talk about lighting it up in the second quarter. My word, that was just huge, and the impact carried them through. And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan.
The only color I care about is green, money. Now, you've certainly made some money so far, Freak, but it's time we make more money. I'm talking movies, TVs, endorsements, even your own brand Jordan sneakers.
I care about the game first, Dom. All that sounds great, but don't you think it's a little too early to be talking about all that?
Too early? LeBron was 12 years old in 6th grade when he was thinking Space Jam. It's never too early to take and make leaps.
I guess.
You guess? This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is the real world. And the real world is fueled by one thing.
Oh, money.
That's right. Money. Dollar bills, y'all. Why do you think they put presidents on them? Because that's what presides over us. I ever tell you guys about the first dollar I ever made?
No, Dom, but you're about to.
Yo, check this out. CC, this is a great story.
Mr. Dom Pagnotti. The diamond and platinum himself. It's a love-hate relationship.
What do you think about people who see your brother as just a meal ticket?
Well, that's why I'm there. I'm the gatekeeper. Yep. I can smell it from a mile away.
DJ Khaled, Convict Music, we the best. We taking over. Listen.
Spread out with it. South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, on to North Carolina, Philadelphia, Virginia. From down in Miami, where it's warm in the winter. On up to Minnesota, where it's storm in the winter. Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Memphis, holla at me. B&H-Town, Southside, Cloverland, Daddy, I'm the man out in Dallas. Better ask Cali. Catman, Cali with my eyes open valley. Blowing and spinning, going down Vinny. Drop 6, 4, 3, wheel, and switch it. Red light stop, make it drop for the with it. Anything you hear that I said, I meant it. Kane got the crown, then spit all with it. Say you need I said, I get it.
Want to, we can supply you. Got enough work to feed the whole town. They won't shoot unless you try to. Come around and try to stop on our ground. Cause we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over.
Black flag, yeah.
Listen.
Bounce, it's what I does. I get money every day I does that. It's how I ride. Black flag on the left too. Ride, you better move. Yeah, get shit like shine that's on my neck. I'm big like Diddy. I'm with it. Cali, we did it. Biggie in my city. Please don't fit it. Hit 'em too. The bread and get stupid. Silly. Money that come, run it like water. Mommy so hot. Miami on fire, you better be. Might get on the porch of your fortress. Yeah, they see it, but no one reports it. I run in,
Cause we
Rick Ross,
taking
bottom.
over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Listen.
Back when you see, better duck like the Mac, got an East Pass. What? I don't give a f***, I run these streets, y'all talk that. I want that beef. I'ma tell you like a G told me, they'll come back quick if cash rule everything around me. I'm YSL, Versace. You can see me in that Porsche GT. Coming down Sunset, sitting on D. Feeling like Pac, all eyes on me. Fresh bandana and them mad trees. Please, I spit every verse. Some say Khaled, some say Khalid. 12 years down and I'm finally
If you
free.
want to, we can supply you. Got enough work to feed the whole town. They won't shoot unless you try to. Come around and try to stop on our ground. Cause we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Listen.
Birdman dead, I'm number one. Can't make me wrong, so we got him done. The family, I'ma give him some. Spent that conda. He didn't run. Sunday had a whole church singing a song. Why they had to send my baby home? With some that paper long. Been a G in the game, now my son on the throne.
I am the beast. Feed me rappers or feed me beats. I'm untamed, I need a leash. I'm insane, I need a shrink. I love and I need a leech. Why complain on easy streets? I don't even talk, I let the visa speak. And I like my Sprite Easter pink. And my wrist special pop, but the mule is cooler. I have more juice than your jeweler. Touching, I will your medulla. That's a it is not a tumor. Red light, stop your rumors. I stay on track like a box of Pumas. I just rock with Junior. I am the little big
Cause we
kahuna.
taking
Get it?
over.
One city at a time.
I do it. Same old, just a different day. Out here trying to get it each and every way. Mama need a the muscle. Black is my attire, keep them sticks off in that cupboard. I be going hard, them going hard. I just hit them all. You just swipe the card, I'm with a couple Latin. I just do. You other guys telling lies, homie, free money. AG, you pay me. Swagging in my saline. Judo coupe Mercedes. I am too much for you busters. I don't trust them. They won't play me for no sucker. Play me for no paper. Make my thumper. Alpha Zeta Omega. Better know I'm really on it. Driving better on it. Money is involved. Better know I'm on it. And that's wording to my mother. Gotta get it one way or another. I put that on my brother. I'm out here on the come up, but it's same old. Just a different day. Out here trying to get it. Each and every way. Mama need a house. Baby need some shoes. Times are getting hard. Guess what I'ma do? Hustle. Hard. Hustle. Hard. Hard. Closed mouths don't get fed on this boulevard.
Ricky Ross, T-Pain. Got a fresh lineup, yeah, fresh outfit. About to have the parking lot on smash. Plus I got a Chevy with a 454 in the hood. Got 125 on the dash.
I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far.
Cause it's just another day in the life of the boss.
Baby, we make magic. Come home with a thug, let's get cracking. Always well, baby, cause happen. She the back seat, just a freak in the mood. Hopped in the tray, just to let the top back and thank God for the day. Who gives a what a hater gotta say? I made a couple $1 million last year. Still in the streets, strapped with them things. She in love with a G, so she tatted my name. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. 10 black Maybachs back to back in the lane. I'ma make it rain, then I'ma make it back. You are just a lame little homie, that's a fact. Working with the police, acting like you know me. Fresh out of jail already in your
Got a fresh lineup, yeah, fresh outfit. About to have the parking lot on smash. Plus I got a Chevy with a 454 in the hood. Got 125 on the dash.
I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far.
We got James Harden and that beard of his. Look, this guy's relentless. We know he's gonna attack the basket all night long. So I'm gonna make it my personal mission.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Glad you're here with us tonight for this Monday night presentation. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. We have Doris Burks on the sideline as well. And Freak subbed in for Exum. Houston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. So on the floor for Houston. Down low, it's Jones and Howard together. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. And it's Lawson in at the point.
Well, one thing about Ty Lawson is he's very good at attacking the defense. Gets inside without a problem and knows how to set up teammates.
Freak passes to Booker. Feeds it to Freak. 11 feet away, and a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Freak's got his first points of the night.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Howard, and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. They get Derek Favors.
For Dwight Howard, guys, there were 2 or 3 seasons in Orlando and LA that seemed like one big soap opera. So now, to me, it seems like he's happy and settled, though, here in Houston.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Lyles checked in for Favors. And Trey Burke subbed in for Alec Burks. And then for Houston, Corey Brewer's checked in for Ariza. Thornton comes in for James Harden. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Ty Lawson. And stolen by Burke. Here's Booker. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
Hood's checked in for Gordon Hayward. Thornton, no good. And it seems, Greg, that, you know, as he was just talking moments ago about Howard finding his niche in Houston, it seems he's more comfortable. Certainly a great legacy of terrific big men for the Rockets. Clark, you know that firsthand. They've had some terrific names over the years.
How about Yao Ming, Kevin? Moses Malone, Elvin Hayes, Hakeem Olajuwon. No greater roster of big men than that one there.
Beverly wide open. The Rockets again can't hit. Utah leading by 5. Pulls up on the elbow. And here's Freak. Off target from the wing.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
And it's blocked. Out of bounds. Rockets ball as Houston keeps possession. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And stolen by Hood. Kicks it to Burke. Ring shot on the way. No good. And Houston the other way now. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
And they didn't have much of a problem with these guys last season, and quite frankly, you wouldn't expect them to.
Yeah, you know, these are two teams clearly on opposite ends of the continuum in this conference. I mean, this is a team they rightly feel they can beat every time they take the court with them.
17 seconds left in the first quarter. Now here's Beverly. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. From deep, Thornton, good.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
And so the... And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he's... It's an interesting concept that Dwight... Entirely new group here. Lyles checked in for Rudy Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Freaks checked in for Burks. And Trey Burke subbed in for Dante Exum. And then for Houston, Jones checked in for Howard. Brewer comes in for KJ McDaniels. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Ty Lawson. So on the floor for Houston, Beverly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Trevor Ariza out there with Jones. And it's Brewer in at the small forward position. Inside, shots good by Lyles.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should continue to work the ball down low, Clark. It's really going to free up their outside shooting.
Ariza has the open look. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Ariza's got his first 2 points of the night. Jazz leading by 9. Last season for James Harden was easily his best yet. Finished second in the MVP race. Put up huge numbers with career highs in points per game scoring. Greg at more than 27 a game.
And also carried that Rockets team that dealt with a plethora of injuries, mainly to Dwight Howard. And second in the league in scoring, I mean, narrowly losing out to Russell Westbrook, who just went on a tremendous tear the second half of the season. And then also finished runner-up in the MVP race.
Burke kicks to Hayward. In it goes. That's his third bucket. He's missed 5 so far.
Lovely dish by Columbus's own Trey Burke.
It's Harden with the drive. Kicks it out to Ariza. Jones sets the pick for Ariza. In the corner, it's Brewer. It's hauled in by Lyles. Utah has gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. They set the pick to the inside. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Rodney Hood's checked in for Utah. And a switch here also for Houston. Thornton's checked in. Screen by Jones. It's Ariza on the wing. Defended by Booker. Ariza kicks to Beverly. And stolen by Burke. Freak with it. He's got 5. Pass to Lyles. And the layup's good off the glass. Lyles got 6 here in this quarter.
He's really starting to ramp it up now, getting involved in the offense here after being held without a point in the first.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. A floater, Ariza no luck.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Here's Thornton, and no good trying to get that one. That'll do it for the first half. Utah out in front, up by 50.
Well, James threw.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin. Checked in for Dante Exum. KJ McDaniels, he's checked in for the Rockets. Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. And it's Freak in at the point. That's the group right now for Utah.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Hands are the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. And that one's good. Freak. Rockets trail by 14. Lawson outside. Here's McDaniels, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Freak dishes to Gobert. The feed now to Freak. Outside Favors. 5 on the clock. Hayward passes to Freak. And rejection by McDaniels. Lawson against Hayward. Jones with the screen on Hayward. Lawson loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Lawson's got 10 points in the game. Jazz leading by 10. And something not a lot of people talk about, Ty Lawson's defense. He has the lateral quickness, Clark, and strong lower body that gives, point guards fits.
Yeah, he's like a fire hydrant in terms of his build and strength. He's a good ball defender, but he gambles sometimes, so that can cut both ways. He'll get steals, but he'll also put you in tough positions defensively.
Screen by Jones. No good from Lawson. Utah has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Freak. He's got 9. Burks in the corner. Favors sets the pick for Burks. Freak kicks to Gobert. 13 feet away. Here's Favors. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. It's going to be on James Harden. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Jazz.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they've forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Rudy Gobert. Hood comes in for Gordon Hayward. And Trey Burke subbed in for Burks. Howard kicks to Beverly. For the 3, Booker pulls it in. Jazz leading by 14. Here's Burke, and it's sent back by Howard. Favors with a screen on Thornton. To the right side. Here's Hood. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And it's Brewer finishing it off.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Favors with a screen on Thornton. Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Thornton. Rockets with the rebound. Howard's got his 4th rebound in this one. Launches it. And with that, the Jazz lead is cut down to 9 in the bucket from Beverly.
That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely
And the final period of play just about to start. Almost entirely new group here. Gobert, he's checked in for Lyles. Favors comes in for Trevor Booker. Burks, he's checked in for Exum. And Freak subbed in for Trey Burke. James Harden, he's checked in for the Rockets. Lawson comes in for Trevor Ariza. So on the floor for Houston, we've got Harden. Brewer is out there with Thornton. Then it's Lawson. And it's Beverly in at the shooting guard position. Freak dishes to Gobert. Burks in the corner. Gobert with a screen for Burks. Right side Favors. Hayward on the wing. Gobert the screen. Hayward goes in. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock.
I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
Harden outside. Back to Lawson. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Lawson's got the lead up to 7 now for the Rockets.
After what was just a horrendous shooting performance in the first half, they finally started to find their stroke.
And amazing that they hold the lead with how poorly they shot in the first half, but they've defended at a high level and remain in control.
It's Harden with the drive.
Harden doing it all. 10 points and 7 assists. You know, as tremendous as his stats are, what I've liked most is just the effort he's put into this game.
And Clark, he's worked his tail off.
So we see the Rockets get the win here. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have...
Gentlemen, I'm here with James.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden. He made all the key plays every step of the way. They depend on him to deliver these sorts of performances, and he helped carry his team tonight. Shaq, your thoughts?
Well, he came to rescue the team tonight, Ernie. Things were getting desperate for him, and the consecutive losses kept mounting, but he put them on his back, and he responded exactly the way he needed to.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Have a good evening.
I told you, Dom Pagnotti always delivers. Brand Jordan Freak prototypes. Open the box, check them out.
It's like Christmas and my birthday on the same day. Oh, Dom.
You love him?
I love him.
Hey, they're waiting for your approval for production.
Approved.
Approved?
Approved.
Done. I'll make the call.
Impact, now that we trust.
I told you you'd love him.
Man.
Hey, I'm going to have you playing in those in 30 days or less.
Money. Oh, man.
Freaking and vibing. Freaking and vibing.
Freaking and vibing in these, baby.
I'm coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece.
It's an interconference contest here in the Big Apple, New York, as the Knicks play one at home. The Jazz in the midst of a road trip going into this one. This is an important game for them because they've really been struggling. Just one win in their last 5. And Utah also making a switch. Freaks checked in for Trey Burke. For New York, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. So on the floor for Utah, the forwards are Hayward and Favors. Alec Burks is out there with Freak, and it's Gobert in at the center, blocking down the middle.
Nice job creating for the easy deuce. Hey guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
Last outing for Utah, it was a loss to the Hornets in Charlotte.
And the issues they had defensively, in part, I thought, was a huge factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was a road game for them.
Well, you know, they gave the crowd a bunch to cheer about. And when you do that, you put yourself in a really tough position trying to come away with the road win.
And that one's good by Lopez.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Afflalo. Hayward dishes to Freak. Poked away. It's stolen by Anthony. And now Anthony pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Lays it in off the breakaway.
That is up-tempo basketball at its best. So much easier to operate in the open court when a steal triggers the break.
And really, basketball is about rhythm, and that allows your offense to flow better. Now let's see if they can build on it and keep this lead.
Afflalo against Favors. Afflalo kicks to Anthony. Back to Afflalo. And so he draws the foul on the shot and trip to the line to shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for New York. Grant comes in for Porzingis. The Jazz also changing it up. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Trevor Booker comes in for Derek Favors. And it's Exum in for Alec Burks. Dishes to Hayward. Shot clock at 5. Freak kicks to Hayward. And not gonna go. He misses the first attempt on the night. New York leading by 4. Grant the pass to Afflalo. The shot is off.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Exum dishes to Freak. Here's the 3. Another miss by Utah. New York comes into this following a loss to Philadelphia.
And guys, just look at the turnover stats in that game. You're not going to win giving it up as many times as they did.
Not unless you play an even tougher brand of defense on your end and force more turnovers for the other side. That's the only way you're going to get that thing squared away.
Grant kicks to Afflalo. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Afflalo's got 7 points in the game.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
We're playing too much on the perimeter. Let's look to dump the ball inside.
You can see how Utah stacks up. 4th in blocks, 18th in three-point shooting. And as far as fewest turnovers per game, not a strong suit. They've struggled here. Top 20 in the league. Those numbers can get you beat.
You know, you talked about their spot in the shot blocking rankings. Their length and presence inside is not to be taken lightly. And trust me, their opponents are very conscious of it every time they drive the ball.
Freak passes to Booker. And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. 59 seconds left here in the first quarter. Anthony kicks to Afflalo. Outside Williams. Back to Afflalo. Rebound Utah. Last time they met was in Utah.
And they did win that last game in this matchup. And it seemed they got the benefit of the whistle.
Yeah, a significant differential in free throws made. I mean, give them credit. They capitalized on those opportunities.
Anthony kicks to Afflalo. Williams dishes to Anthony. Baseline jumper. Rebounded by Exum.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
And a wide open look for Freak. And they will call over the back on the play.
And that's an aggressive play to try to get the rebound. Just a little too aggressive.
And unnecessary. That's over the top. That's doing too much, Greg. He wasn't in good position there, and he was never going to get the ball. He just wasted a foul.
And stolen by Freak. 2 on the clock. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one's on Anthony. The Jazz have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2.
Not a strong suit for this group, just around 71%.
You know, I know that's an aspect they've been trying to address as a team. I mean, they've got to get those free throw numbers up and improved.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Jazz lead by 1. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Transitioning from college to the pros can be a challenge for many players. Here's what Freak had to say about adjusting his game to the NBA. Good points, Clark. What role do coaches play in helping young players like that adjust to the long NBA schedule?
Well, you know, Kevin, they're going to give their teams the best chance to win no matter what the circumstance is. If that means playing young guys extended minutes, then all systems go. I mean, that's what being a pro is all about.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And the guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
It's all about the depth, really. The bench has been the difference. The bench.
The Knicks, Kevin Seraphin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Lewis Amundsen. And Anthony subbed in for Williams. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Dante Exum, he's checked in for Alec Burks. And Freak subbed in for Burke. Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Back to Calderon. Aflalo outside. Off target with his three.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
One thing about Jose Calderon, you could see the frustration in him last season playing a career low 42 games, and his averages were down pretty much, Greg, across the board.
Yeah, and Kevin, he was brought in to kind of invigorate the Knicks' point guard position, but following a preseason calf injury, you know, he missed the team's first 13 games and never was able to really get going. Remember, coming into a new system where he had to learn how to play differently, and then after all that, you know, you have to shut him down because of that left Achilles.
Clock at 6. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Here's Exum. And a miss there on the triple. New York leading by 5.
And getting back to Jose Calderon, he's been an extremely efficient shooter for a point guard, 48% from the field throughout his career. But last season, he couldn't hit it at all. I mean, he dropped down to 41%.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
There's the pick. There's Freak. Passes it to Booker. And with his quick break and play, let's take a look now and select from a group of point guards that have been killing it from three-point range over the last 10 games. You take a look at Calderon. Third in the NBA. He's someone that if you leave him alone, he's going to knock it down.
You know, if there are no other options available, any of these guys can just step back and knock down a triple. Great backup plan for any point guard to have.
Well, forget about using it as a backup plan. With the numbers this group puts up from deep, I think it should be plan A to have them stroking it from 3.
And Aflalo wide open. He shoots. That ball's nice feed this time from Jose Calderon. And that's now 10 points for Aaron Aflalo.
And you know, on the topic of Jose Calderon, his game is predicated on getting others involved. Last season, he had Carmelo Anthony to throw it to, and really pretty much no one else. So defenders could key on him a little more, causing him, I thought, to become just a little less efficient. Oh, an illegal screen there, one of the toughest calls for an official to make.
And it is one of the toughest calls, but most of the time they do a good job with it, and you have to appreciate how officials get that one right more times than not.
It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Fires at the elbow. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And we welcome you back to start the quarter. Players had a chance to get hydrated with Gatorade. Look for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Amundsen comes in for Porzingis. And it's Williams in for Aaron Aflalo. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Lyles checked in for Rudy Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Dante Exum, he's checked in for Alec Burks. And Freak subbed in for Burke. Amundsen is out there with Anthony. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn. Then there's Calderon. And it's Williams at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 for New York right now.
Guys, this doesn't look like the same team defensively we saw in the first half. I mean, they're flat as day-old pop.
Now here's Freak. He's guarded by Calderon. Here's Freak. The shot no good. And New York will come the other way.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it. And that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Exum with it. Anthony on him. Freak passes to Exum. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Serafin comes in for Louis Amundsen. And it's Afflalo in for Carmelo Anthony. Freak. And not sure what he was thinking there. Afflalo outside. Down low. Here's Serafin. Takes the 12-footer and hits. Serafin's got his first basket of the night.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
For Utah, they have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. And he knocks down the first one. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. The Knicks leading by 17. Now Calderon. 12 points for him. It's blocked.
Move it.
Here's Hood. The feed to Freak. He kicks it to Booker. To the left side wing. Here's the screen. Here's Freak. Williams with the block. They retain possession. Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up for the Knicks. Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Amundsen comes in for Aaron Afflalo. And it's Williams in for Jose Calderon. So on the floor for Utah. Freak, he's in at point guard. Hood out there with Lyons. Then it's Exum, and it's Booker in at the 5. Feeds to Freak. 5 to shoot. And the shot no good, a bit short.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm. And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for New York.
Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark this kind of punishment to him.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
Important. With this win, they split the season series at a game apiece and also avoid the sweep. And that has to be a relief.
And Greg, as interconference opponents, tonight was their only chance to get that revenge. I mean, they won't see each other in the regular season again until next season.
And as we've come to expect, another big game tonight and an impressive exhibit for Carmelo Anthony. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
Pass to Lyles. Shot from 12. Amundsen grabs the board.
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
Grant dishes to Amundsen. Thomas goes in, and the shot is good.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partner. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
Exum kicks to Freak. Knicks with the rebound. Now, here's Grant. So no problem for New York as they get the win. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other.
Jose can...
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Carmelo Anthony. He put his team on his back and carried them as we've seen him do before. But it never gets old. A textbook example of making play after play to lead the way. Let's get your opinion, Kenny.
We've seen so many performances like that over the course of Cup.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure.
As I was saying, got a real big problem. All this kitty stuff. Your evil twins, CC and Dom, got you doing Vet, what was that word he was using?
Rebrand?
No. Recalibrate. All this stuff they got you doing to recalibrate your image is cost you in the hood, fam. Yo, the streets is watching, and they're not convinced.
Vic, how many times do I have to tell you? The streets ain't always right.
Nah. It's always good in the hood. Let's not forget, I am a student of human nature, all right? Take your man here. He's playing this here video game is to not address the reason why his brand Jordan sneakers are sitting on store shelves collecting dust.
Ooh.
Okay, what are your suggestions, Victor?
He wants you to rob a bodega. I'm sorry.
Look, man, I'm not talking about some focus group, all right? I'm talking about the hood. They don't trust you no more. They see you coming to the arenas wearing them tight pants y'all ballers be wearing. Your high water ankles be showing. Your pants is just so tight, man. Your ankles be choking. Air it out some. People don't see themselves in you anymore. Look at me. People don't recognize themselves in who you are. Okay, you want to recalibrate? Fine, B, go ahead. Recalibrate back to Harlem. Remind these fools where you from. Represent, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's that Jesus piece you used to rock? That Shuttlesworth.
With them fake chains we used to wear.
Yo, but that's my point. Yo, let me get you some nice jewels, huh? Make you flossy. Get you a new whip, something that the hood will love. Let's remind these fools that you the Harlem Renaissance up in this piece. Get a club, I don't know, something. Just throw your weight around, man.
I mean, at least get me some, too.
Yeah, and get some nice free vet, too.
Nah, but for real, in all seriousness. You think it's that bad?
Yo. Cats be laughing at your corny commercials, B.
Come on.
But that's what I'm saying. Yo, we could change all that. Hey, now I know CC's your manager and all, but everywhere she leads, you can't always follow. Now, I'm not trying to catch no charge, but CC got people out here laughing at you, fam. Now, just let me take care of everything. You the CEO, I'm the CFO, Chief Flossing Officer. You hit me with that bread, and I got you.
CC.
How y'all doing?
What up, CC?
Freak, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, what up?
In private?
CC, go ahead.
Okay, well, I thought we were supposed to be having a private meeting today to discuss business.
CC, what you think we're doing?
Am I talking to you? You know what? Y'all ain't talking business. Y'all talking nonsense.
We were actually discussing the questionable nature of the promotional strategy that you and Dom have employed on Freak's behalf. Now, it doesn't necessarily resonate with his core fan base, primarily due to the fact that it negates the legitimacy of his personal background and history in favor of reaching a larger, primarily more disinterested demographic that would prefer to judge Freak's past as opposed to appreciate it.
Yo, what Yvette said, 4 times 25, 100.
Oh, so now you know your times tables. Yvette, occasionally proving that you're articulate doesn't mean you have business acumen. Beyond, of course, your clear mastery of basic arithmetic. We all know you can add up how much Freak makes.
Okay, Cece, that's enough.
No, you know what, Cece? You're absolutely
Anywho,
right.
Freak,
And speaking of basic arithmetic, how much of Freak's money do you take?
Okay, what did I just say about
A what? A manager? Is that what
You know what? No. The only members of Team Freak in here are me and you.
Oh, you know what, Cece? This isn't the womb, okay? It's not just you and Freak.
Speaking of, how's that going for you?
Hey, come on.
Oh, snap.
You gonna let her talk to me like that, really?
It's
You need to check her now.
I ain't even talking about
now.
Yo,
Yeah.
I'm out.
You know what? I think
I'm
I'll
out.
join you.
No, darlings, please. Please, have a seat. I would just love to hear what you all were just discussing. Better yet, let me guess. Hey, yo, I'm saying, dude, what you need to do is hit up these parties. Yeah, you need to show these fools how you still have mad love for the hood. Get you some flossy jewels. Make sure every time they see you, it's in the new whip. Better yet, let's get us a dealership or a club or something. Never mind that house you promised your twin sister, you promised you get for your parents who are still in the projects where you left them.
Yo, that's not fair. I ain't leaving my ass.
Hey,
and you know I'll never leave our parents in projects.
Thing, fam. I'll take care of everything. All you gotta do is break me off with that bread. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wow. You know what, Cece? I don't know what's going on with you tonight, but I think it's best you go home. We will continue our meeting here.
You asking me to leave?
Yes.
Hey, yo, freak. It's all good, man. As a matter of fact, CC, I know you don't like me. You never have. I don't know what I ever did to you. But at this point, does it really matter anymore? Look, I just want you to know that I'm really sorry. But whatever it was, I can honestly say it was not intentional. All right? Hey, freak. Think about what I said earlier, man. I ain't trying to catch no charge. Vet, you ready?
Let's bounce.
Cece. Okay, you know I love you more than life itself.
And how come you always put them before me? I don't put anyone above you, not even myself.
You sure about that, Cece? What would you just call this?
Some people say you just a hanger-on, that you're a leech. Why is that the word?
Because people just don't know,
They
yo.
be hating?
They be hating. They hating on my game. They hating on our friendship. See, FOF, friend of freak. See, nobody got that like I do. And everybody else wants that. Who doesn't? But that's my boy. I'm in that spot. That is my lane, and everybody else just gotta make way for that, you know?
That's him, but who are you?
Nah, man, I got my own life, you know? People think I'm just sitting back and riding on him, but that's not the case, yo. I got dreams. I got dreams, yo. See, my boy knows, right? There's two ways that I could do this. I could do it a legit way, or I could do it the crooked way. And I'm really, really, really trying not to do it the crooked way, but Freak can't help me do that.
He could put you on?
Maybe. You gotta do what you gotta do when you need to do it to get ahead. And that's what I do, and I'm just really good at it. What can I say? I get by, day by day.
LeBron James. What more can you say about the guy that hasn't already been said? He can play anywhere on the court. And he gets it done on both ends like nobody else in the league.
UK Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Utah, downtown Salt Lake City, Utah, the home of the Jazz. Energy Solutions. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. So on the floor for Cleveland. Down low, it's Love and Mozgov. J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. And it's Irving in at the point guard position. Mozgov sets a screen for Irving. Misses the 3.
Kyrie Irving made his first playoff appearance last season with the Cavs, and individually got a big $90 million max extension as well. He's in a really good spot in his career at this point.
Hayward kicks to Favors. And the rejection by Love. They recover it. Just 4 to shoot. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. For 3, and there's Burke. That's good on the assist by Freak.
Don't underestimate him. He can knock that down.
And here's Irving. 23 points for him the last game against the Clippers.
And also give him credit for his ability to pass the basketball. He was always looking for the open man. A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Freak, covered by Smith. Freak with it, and Burke has it in the corner. Baseline J on the way, and misses it off the right side of the rim. For Cleveland, they've gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, safe to say that J.R. Smith has never been short on confidence Clark his entire career.
Yeah, he's always been a guy who could actually play with confidence and back it up. When he's hot from the floor, he can take over games single-handedly.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Trevor Booker comes in for Gobert, and it's Exum in for Burke. Then for the Cavaliers, Anderson Varejau's checked in for Mozgov, and it's Tristan Thompson in for Kevin Love. Again, Favors missing.
And for Smith and his confidence, last year even he said he's on pace to be one of the best shooters the game has ever seen. So obviously not lacking in belief in his ability.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Let's send it over to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach David Blatt. Doris?
Yes, he's looking at how they can establish an edge in this one. He's looking for them to lock things down on the interior first and foremost. He said our shot blocking is something that can really help us if we just play smart and avoid fouls. We want them shooting over length, and that's one thing my guys do bring to the table. A sound strategy, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. So defense, it looks like, coming first for them today.
That's their identity. That's what they're all about. Their defense is really what sparks it.
And that has to be their spark if they're going to be successful. I mean, everything for them starts at the defensive end of the floor.
And not sure if I can agree with J.R. Smith's assessment that he'll be one of the greatest shooters of all time, but he's pretty deep into his career at this point. Maybe he's hoping for a Kyle Korver type of career after 30 years of age.
Patience. Patience. Taking early threes is leading to long rebounds, which equal to transition points. Make the defense move, and let's pass up a good shot for a great shot. Let the game come to you.
Field goal percentage.
We're forcing the issue too much.
And they also show up. It's a low turnover team. They value possessions, and they really concentrate on taking care of the rock.
You know, you go back to their three-point field goal percentage, some true dead eyes on their roster, no doubt. And that's such a luxury offensively. They have been absolutely lights out.
Freak passes to Lyles. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. The Cavaliers leading by 4. To the paint, here's Thompson. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Yeah, the great field goal percentage to start, exactly what they were hoping for.
Now here's Freak. D right on him. Exum dishes to Freak. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Hood. Lets the 3 fly. Offensive rebound. Freak. It's deflected. 41 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Dellavedova kicks to Thompson. And the baseline jumper, no good. Jazz trail by 6. Exum passes to Freak. Another miss by Utah. And here's Cleveland. They're on a 12-3 run. Now here's Williams. Not a lot of room. The screen from Thompson. It's Williams with the drive. Shot misses. And LeBron James trying to will his Cavaliers team to its first title. Teammate Kevin. When someone like LeBron talks about what you need to bring to the table. Eric Favors checked in for Utah. Freak comes in for Alec Burks. And a switch here also for Cleveland. J.R. Smith's checked in for Williams. The forwards are Hayward and Favors. Freak is out there with Trey Burke. And it's Gobert in at the pivot, manning the middle. That's the group right now for Utah.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin, but you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season.
Smith left side. A wide open look for Love. And Cleveland again with the bucket. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Burke dishes to Gobert. Kicks to Freak. Back to Gobert. Feeds it to Burke. 6 to shoot. Favors with a screen on Love. Here's Burke. The shot will not go. Excellent D there from Mozgov.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Kings did not have a great showing. He notched a few points, and he also added a few assists as he set up his teammates as well. He shot a very low percentage from the field, uncharacteristically low. We'll be curious to see how he responds here in this one, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Great job. And you know, even the best players have weak games, guys. And I think we saw that pretty clearly.
Yeah, and the question now becomes, you know, can you bounce back? Will he be able to put that game behind him?
That is the question, Greg, and I'm guessing he can. I'm sure he's discouraged, but he won't dwell on it. He knows how to deal with having an off night.
Look from Love. Rebounded by the Jazz. Freak's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Favors with a screen on James. Passes it to Hayward. There's the 3. Cavaliers with the rebound. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And they may have been on the road, but you know what? They nullified any home court disadvantage in that game by how well they shot it from 3.
Shooting can always be a great equalizer. I mean, when you shoot like that from outside, it really makes winning on the road a lot easier.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them.
The first one falls. Well, we know the Mozgov started last season with the Nuggets and then was traded to Cleveland midway through the season.
And what an impact he made on the Cleveland Cavaliers, particularly at the defensive end. His size and his activity really helped the Cavs become outstanding at the defensive end.
Looking at who's out there now for the Jazz. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Hood's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Exum in for Trey Burke. And the Cavaliers making a change here. Varejão's checked in. Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And it's Good assisting on the play with Dellavedova. And the Cavaliers lead by 2.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And Clark, they might as well keep doing it. I mean, attack the basket until the defense makes an adjustment.
Here's Booker. And it is good at the buzzer. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter. Almost entirely new group here. Lyles checked in for Gobert. Booker comes in for Derek Favors. Dante Exum, he's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Freak subbed in for Burke. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Anderson Varejão's checked in for Mozgov. Tristan Thompson comes in for Kevin Love. Richard Jefferson, he's checked in for LeBron. And it's Williams in for Smith. So on the floor for Cleveland, Thompson and Varejão at the 4 and 5. Irving is out there with Mo Williams, and it's Jefferson in at the small forward position. Outside Irving. On the wing, Williams. Thompson sets the pick for Williams. No one covering. Williams has got 6 points in the quarter.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
Yeah, it's not a surprise then to see them out in front the way they've been efficient offensively in this half and actually throughout the entire game.
Another miss by Utah.
You know what? Those are shots you just hate to miss when you get those kinds of bunnies on a possession.
Now, here is Irving. Defense right on him. Off the screen. And he hits the jump shot. Irving's got 11 points.
Despite the troubles he had in the first half, he stayed composed and focused, and now he's getting it going.
Now here's Freak. He's covered by Irving. Stolen by Thompson. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Think of this. For his career, 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Good.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Here's Williams. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. With the pause in the action, let's bring you the list of teams that have been lighting it up over the last 10 games. In third, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, what an impressive run for this club. Everybody seems to be in a rhythm in terms of scoring, and they are putting up some big numbers.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
You know, they've really improved at the line from the first half. Things have gotten a lot better. They've gotten there a good number of times, and they've converted a high percentage of it.
Here's Booker. Makes it off the glass.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
It's Williams with the drive. Here's Varejão. And the layup's good off the glass.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's Freak. The dish to Booker. Shoots from 12. And the basket good. Booker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
That's a nice job of getting the ball in the paint and burying the shot. That's exactly how it's done.
It's Williams with the drive. And the miss. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. So we see the Cavaliers taking the win here. A resounding victory.
Kevin, you got
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Love.
How much would every team like to have a big man who's able to do the things that Kevin Love does? He can play close to the bucket, he can spot up from long range, pass, drive the lane, rebound, you name it. I'm glad he didn't hold back.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
Yo, Freak, what's up, baby? What's up? We see you.
Yo, what up?
Basquiat, let's go. Got that art for y'all, that real spit. They call me Basquiat. The Harlem take my pockets full of fat knots, making all the ladies drop. Paint me street corners green, my banknotes look hella bill scene. Half man, half amazing. Call me Simi out the demigod. Halo crown with the dollar sign, got a poet. A ghetto saint to a grand designs, call me focus. Before the Basquiats, the streets is hopeless. I'm that Harlem Saint painting pictures, making new kind of skill, banking up to 12 figures. They call me Basquiat, pockets full of fat knots, dust till dawn. Your boy makes the street pop, got it on lock, body don't stop, make it hot. Love it when the bunnies bounce when they on top. Basquiat, I got 107 C's, making waves till the world knows me. Basquiat, my pocket go deep, I dive in the heights, get up and then creep. I'm on my hustle and grind, I'm all about my money, no time for playing games when the game ain't funny.
Okay, yo, he's nice. What's his name?
Hey, he goes by the name Basquiat, yo. Basquiat puts game down on them bars, yo. I'm telling you. Hey, we record a nice mixtape. Hey, do a nice video, get some honeys up in there dancing. Hey, we could build a franchise around this, yo. Hey, I want us to do a deal, Freak.
I mean, what you mean by us, Vic?
I mean us, as in you and me and you, putting some serious Skrilla behind this and put me on, man. I'm Basquiat.
What?
You heard me? I'm Basquiat. That's me.
That's you?
Yeah, 100.
Okay, you nice with it. What? Yeah. Wow, okay.
Thanks, man.
Basquiat.
Yo, we don't need no major label to make this happen, man. And in the end, we reap all the benefits. Think about it.
I know what you're thinking. I noticed we passed Colonel Young Park, too.
Yo, Coach Judy was the best. I remember when she took us from park to park so we could play ball. She taught us how to be comfortable in places other than the courts and the projects.
Word. Yo, Coach Judy would have us shoot hundreds of jumpers all over the court with both hands.
Hey, you caught onto the ambidextrous thing real fast, though.
Right. Now, but you were a beast with the hops. You were like 13, 5'6", and could reverse dunk with 2 hands.
Right.
Come on, man. Whoa! Yeah, used to bug all the older dudes out on the court.
Yep. Oh, good times, man. Good times.
wrong, Vic? What's wrong?
It's nothing, man. It's silly, really.
Come on, Vic, fess up.
I'm thinking about how fortunate you are. You know how blessed you are. You know, you grew up with a moms and a dad. Both parents.
I never had this feeling with any other woman in my life. And she gave me a different feeling, which was something I fell in love with. I never asked her to be my girlfriend. It just became that. You could tell when we started falling, like, I get a text.
This season hasn't gone the way we planned. But tonight, we've got an opportunity to affect the playoff race. These guys need the win, and we're standing.
And a look out over the luminous expanse of Salt Lake City, Utah, the crossroads of the West. On the road and hungry for a win against a Western Conference rival, the San Antonio Spurs are ready for this one to get started. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And back in Utah following the road trip, it's the Jazz on home turf. Presently in last place in the West, this is a team searching for answers. And what a big-time opportunity this is, folks. We're going to see the first official NBA start from Freak.
Yeah, we knew it would come at some point. This young man is just too talented to not be in the starting lineup. His time has come.
Yes, it has. I mean, he's clearly proven to the powers that be in that organization that he's ready. I mean, let's see if he can make the most of the chance he's been given.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there with Duncan. And it's Leonard in at the small forward.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
You know, as I watched Derek Favors last season, he continued to develop his offense. He was a big, unpolished athlete coming into the league, had some conditioning problems, but now it seems like he's on track to be a force as a power forward.
Now, here's Burks, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Gobert with a screen for Freak. No luck. Nice D from Duncan.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Nobody near Leonard. A three-pointer off the mark. Talking about Derek Favors, his points per game average went up last season, as it is done in each of his 6 seasons in the league. He's an ascending player.
He is, you know, definitely refined his moves down on the blocks, and he's also become much improved at passing out of the double team, averaging a career high in assists last season as well. The arrow is certainly pointing up for Mr. Favors.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Gobert with the block. Burks the pass to Freak. Rebounded by the Spurs. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Now here's Parker. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Derek Favors with the rebound. Jazz leading by 4. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Now, a short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. He's very confident in their ability to win the battle in the low post, so that's where he'd like to see most of the action take place. I think we can expect them to pound the ball into the paint and let their big men go to work. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Doris. Aldridge. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Freak with it. Leonard picks him up. The feed now to Hayward. Gobert with a screen on Parker. Kicks it to Favors. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Favors has got his second bucket tonight. Spurs trail by 6. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Leonard kicks to Parker. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. Parker's got his second basket. For Utah, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Well, the Spurs just don't go on losing streaks very often, Greg. One perk of being a talented veteran group.
Yeah, how about the Spurs lost 4 games in a row twice last year. Over the last decade before that, Kevin, they had only lost 4 games in a row twice. Unbelievable.
There's 1:54 left in the first quarter of the game. And the foul called on Freak. That's his first foul. Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for the Jazz. West is checked in for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for Green. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. And they call an illegal screen here.
And the idea of setting a screen on that play was right, but just poor execution.
Gobert, he's checked in for Lyles. Hayward comes in for Rodney Hood. Burks, he's checked in for Exum. And Freak subbed in for Burke. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Rudy Gobert is out there with Booker. And it's Freak in at the 1 spot. That's the 5 on the floor for the Jazz. He took good advantage of that screen. Leonard's got his first points of the night.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Yeah, and that field goal percentage zooming upwards is now above 50%, which is pretty strong. That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
Now here's Parker following the miss by Freak. Back to Parker. Fires from 14. Hayward with some nice D.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
High post, Gobert. Nice ball movement by Utah. Gobert with a screen on Green. Now, Freak. His last outing, he had 8 points. There's the pick. Burks dishes to Freak. Can't get it to go. And the Spurs going the other way now.
Can't be any surprise to you that Tim Duncan, folks, last year became the leading rebounder of all active players. Passed up Kevin Garnett for that honorable distinction. We're talking 15,000 rebounds total over 18 seasons.
Spurs leading by 4. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Screen by Duncan. Parker passes to Green. Back to Parker. Misses off the left iron. Getting back to Duncan's rebounding, he's always had the great size and wingspan and timing, and he really positions himself well for those rebounds. But what seems to separate him is his quiet toughness. He'll never back down.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's not a guy that's going to yell or pump his fist. He's not going to flex his muscles to the crowd. He just silently assassinates you
well said.
out on the floor.
You're right. You're so right. And he gets it to go. Duncan's got the lead up to 6 now for the Spurs.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Patience. Patience. Taking early threes is leading to long rebounds, transition points. Make
for the last 10 games. The highest scoring small forwards in the league. The 4th spot held by Gordon Hayward.
I mean, tremendously gifted athletically. I mean, we're used to seeing that at that spot on the floor, and they pretty much all give astonishing individual performances on any given night.
Well, we know the small forward spot is where the bulk of the scoring load rests on most teams. I mean, those players on that list always come through in the scoring department. These guys pack a lot of firepower.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Suns stepped up to deliver. He finished with 8 points, and he was able to dish out a few helpers to teammates as well. A bit of a surprise attack for him, as he is usually just regarded as a role player on his team.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by his standards, guys.
And how about the high standards he has for himself? Really did have it all working for him in that game.
Anxious to see what's in his mind for an encore today. I mean, it'd be awfully difficult to top that last game.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Now here's Leonard following the miss by Freak. Leonard kicks to Duncan. A baseline J. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 6 points for Duncan.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Now here's Freak. Hayward outside. Gobert with a screen on Leonard. Hayward dishes to Freak. Here's Gobert. Here's Freak. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Freak's got 4 points in the quarter.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Leonard attacking. And it's Leonard again missing. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the third fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Freak passes to Favors. He feeds it to Freak. Passes it to Gobert. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. One of the top stories here, Tim Duncan getting it done today.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Aldridge out there with Kawhi Leonard. And it's Duncan in at the 5 down low.
Move the ball. Stick it too much.
High post, Gobert. Knocked loose. Leonard with the steal. The drive by Green. Parker kicks to Duncan. Duncan drawing the double team. Parker with no one around. From outside, off the mark. Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times. Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Jazz trail by 12. Burke dishes to Freak. Pass to Gobert. 6 on the shot clock. Hayward goes in. And Gobert kicks to Freak. Another miss by Utah.
Man, that is a missed opportunity right there.
And he'll be the first to tell you, Greg, that's one he should have knocked down.
Pass to West. The pass to Mills. Releases from 15, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
Mills passes to Ginobili. He had a nice open look right there. Ginobili's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Burke. No good on the buzzer beater. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the 4th. Jazz trail by 16. Burke's the off guard with Hayward at the 3. Booker out there with Favors, and it's Freak in at the point guard. That's the group right now for Utah. Here's Booker, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Booker's got the 4th quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Jazz. Parker kicks to Duncan, back to Parker. Dishes to Aldridge. 6 to shoot. It's Parker with the drive. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet.
Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
Now here's Freak, covered by Parker.
Move the ball.
Favors with a screen on Parker. Freak dishes to Favors. And the call will be against LaMarcus Aldridge. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the 4th quarter. Freak passes to Gobert. Hayward on the wing. He's guarded by Diaw. Hayward goes in. And he gets the kind bounce as that one drops in for him.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Down low. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Ginobili has been a handful. He has 8 points, and he has been the definition of a thief with all those steals.
And Clark, defensively, he has played this game just so intelligently. I mean, he hasn't let them get away with any loose passes or sloppy ball handling.
Derek Favors checked in for the Jazz. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for the Spurs. Leonard comes in for Boris Diaw.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
Spurs leading by 8. And there's a minute 45 left in the 4th quarter. And Aldridge slams it in.
Beautiful feed off the bounce to his teammate there. Nicely done.
Now here's Freak, covered by Parker. Now here's Freak to the middle. Here's Favors. Duncan with the block. It's deflected. Ginobili with the steal. The dish now to Parker. Here's Duncan. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. They get Derek Favors.
They're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
This is how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Defender pressing up on you, you press right back.
And you know what? Last season, Tim Duncan added another record to his growing resume. I mean, he passes Karl Malone as the all-time leader in double-doubles.
Back to Gobert to the wing right side. Just 5 to shoot. Feeds to Favors. Off the pick. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. With Duncan in the double-doubles record, it says so much about just how he has delivered on the floor, Clark, for so long.
Yeah, and if you're wondering, double-doubles didn't get recorded until fairly recently. Don't let that take away from what Duncan has accomplished. He's one of the all-time greats.
Good.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
Here's Freak. He kicks it to Gobert from 12 feet out. Here's Freak. Nice D from Aldridge. The clock now can just run out for the Spurs. Now here's Parker. He's guarded closely. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. And in the win, a comfortable...
David, obviously a very productive second unit. How does that change this basketball team when they play like that?
I mean, they set the tone, and we're very deep.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Manu Ginobili.
You know what, Ernie? I must admit it. I didn't see this kind of performance coming from him tonight. He's been coming off a stretch of game where he just looked lost out there. To see him turn around this quickly tonight.
And folks, that'll wrap it up for tonight. We hope you enjoyed the game. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jetson.
Who would you say is to blame for your team's recent struggles? You or your teammates?
We all got to take the blame here. It's a team effort, whether we're winning or losing. And that means me as much as everyone else. Let's try with the trap, though. Next.
Any particular reason your shots weren't falling tonight?
Man, I couldn't get anything to go down. I don't know. I feel like I let my teammates and especially the fans down. And that's not something that sits well with me. So, expect to see me in the practice gym on my next off day.
That was your first official game as a starter. How'd it feel?
That felt great. To me, this is a huge step on the way to living the dream. I can't wait to see what the future has in store. Like, I know if my man Vic has anything to say about it, that things are about to get crazy. Real crazy. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Yeah, send him in. Cece.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you again.
My pleasure.
Freak. Great game last night.
That's what I do, right?
Indeed, have a seat. Pagnotti.
How you doing?
Thought you'd be selling used cars by now.
Funny, comedian.
Yvette, please.
Cece,
Yvette,
where's Dom?
I had him call you.
Why?
I'm gonna cut right to the chase. My brother is deeply in love with you, and I'm ready to put our differences aside if you are.
Really?
On a string.
I'm with it.
Team Freak.
Team Freak.
All right, so if you're gonna be down with the team, I gotta.
Hit the side.